Hi, this is Matt from Skybow, and in this video I will explain you how you can enhance your SharePoint solutions with AI-powered chatbots. So, what are SharePoint agents used for? They are there to bring AI-powered assistant directly into your SharePoint sites. You would have a chatbot that is available, like you can see here on the right, that you can ask questions about the content in your SharePoint site, and this using your natural language. So the content is stored in SharePoint. This way you can leverage SharePoint as a secure and centralized content hub. Everything you stored there is accessible by the SharePoint agent. And last but not least, you can also integrate these agents into your Microsoft Teams chats, so users don't have to leave the Teams at all. In general, there are two types of agents. One is the ready-made agent. That's the one we are talking about in this video. And then there are some custom-built ones when you're using Copilot Studio. All right, so how do they actually work? The user will open up the chatbot, which is based on an AI Azure agent. This one is located in SharePoint, and in the background, it's using the Microsoft 365 Copilot API to access the content which is stored in SharePoint. And then it will give you the answer back. This is as simple as this. And it's also very simple to create them. You have different ways to create a new agent. There's an agent icon in the upper right corner where you see all the agents, and you can also create an agent right from there. Or if you're in a library, you can see the Create an Agent button on the top in the command bar. Or if you select one or multiple files, you can also see a button. So on a single file, you have it in a context menu, or if you select multiple files, you still see that button to create the agent based on the selected files. The agent itself technically is just a declarative chat Copilot agent, which means it's just a file like this. It's a text file, it's a JSON file, and it gives the agent some information, how it should behave, what are the some example prompts that you can see in the chat, what will be the welcome message, and most important, there is a collection of sources where the agent should look at. There can be multiple sources in here. It can be a file, a library, or even a site. That's all specified in here, and it's all stored as a .agent file in a document library, and this way you can easily copy and paste it to somewhere else, or you can also create an agent just by writing a file, if you are able to do that. So also the role model is quite straightforward and simple. The site owner can do everything. The site members who have edit permissions, they can create new agents, they can share the agents and edit the agents and delete their own agents. And if they create an agent, an owner can also approve the agent that it gets visible to all the other users, and the site visitors can use them. So they can just use them, chat with them, and share it also with other people. So very simple. Yeah. Then about the use cases. There are several use cases. In the end, this simple SharePoint agent, those are all just chatbots. So what I mean by chatbot is you can just ask questions about the content and they will give you an answer. So like a contract agent, that's the one I'm showing you in my demo afterwards. So you have some contracts stored in document library and you want to ask something about the terms of the contract or when it can be renewed or what are the payment terms, stuff like this. And it will give you that answer based on the documents. But you can't do anything with that answer. So you cannot make automations based on this. So it's really just a chatbot. I will come to that point later on. There are several other possibilities, for example, for policies. If you have a large complex policy, the users should not or doesn't have to open up the file and read through the whole file to find a certain phrase. You can just ask with natural language, and the policy finder agent will look into that policy file and give you the answer. For projects, expenses, and also in onboarding cases, but also for templates. Those could be some ideas how you can create an agent which is looking at a specific part of your SharePoint documents or content. A couple of things to know. Everyone who's using these SharePoint agents needs to have a Copilot license, or you can also, because a Copilot license is roughly about 30 euros, Swiss francs, US dollars, and maybe a little bit more. You need to have that license for every user who wants to use that agent, or you can have a pay-as-you-go subscription that will consume the request from the agents. But this one could end up in high costs because you have you don't see the usage right away. Every prompt will cost you money, and this is hard for making a budget. So this is more difficult to handle. So it's easier if you just have a fixed amount of licenses and that's it. Then about the sources, I said there can be multiple sources. The maximum is 20, so you can have maximum 20 different sources for one agent. Yep. And there are also some limitations on these ready-made agents. So I'm not talking about the Copilot agents from the Copilot Studio. It's the SharePoint agent only. Like I said, you cannot automate or process the responses in it gives you an answer and then you can probably create tasks out of it. This will not work. It's just a chatbot. Otherwise, you have to build a custom one using Copilot Studio. There you can have more stuff like triggers and actions you can do and so on. As well, a limitation that is, at least as of today, that it can only access content from documents and pages. So no lists, items, and metadata from the lists. I assume that will come soon because it's already there for the Copilot agents. So I'm pretty sure that this will also come to the SharePoint agent. And that will be awesome, especially for us at Skybow, because all our solutions are mainly built on lists and metadata. So for now, the only workaround will be to always create a document based on the metadata that the agent is able to access it. But in the future, I hope it will also be able to access lists and metadata. And because of that, for now, the Copilot button in the upper right corner is not available if you're on a list. So there you will not see the Copilot button. So you have to be on a page or on a document library to see it. All right, so then let's jump into the demo. So, as I said, I will use our contract management solution, which is also available in Microsoft Teams Store. and as a template on Solution Studio. Here you see I have this agent icon. If you click on the agent icon, it will open up the right panel where you see the agent, the available agents, and every site comes with a site agent, and that's the one we see right now. So it's an agent that is scoped to the whole site, and every new site will get that automatically. So but as you can see, there are 2 approved ones for this site. I created 2 additional agents because I don't want an agent that just looks at everything in here. I wanted to have one which looks into the contract documents. So you can ask stuff about the contracts itself. So like which contracts can be terminated in the next 3 months, or give me a summary of the most important points in contract, and then a placeholder, stuff like that. And I have created one more, which is a contractual framework. Therefore, I created a simple file, a demo file, where it explains all different contract types, what should be the topics to be covered in this contract, and some examples. So, and this is available for all 39 different contract types. And this is my contractual framework, just as an example. And I don't want people to look into that document all the time. That's why I provide it as an agent. So you can ask something about the contract types, or which contract type would be should be used for a certain kind of information or contract. All right. So, and as I said, we can create a new agent right from here, not here, from here. So there you see all the agents. I can create a new agent from here, which is automatically scoped to the site as well. And then I can go to edit and change the icon, the name, what it's used for, just as a description for the agent. And then in the sources, you can add these up to 20 sources. So from different sites, whether the entire site, and for now, a library or a document. And here you can choose which one. And then you can add multiple. Come on. So, all right. And in the behavior, you specify the welcome message, the 3 default prompts that you can show here, and also give it the agent some instructions. How should he behave? What should he return? And in what tone should it be returned? Should it add a lot of smileys, or should it be more professional speaking? And then on the right, you can directly give it a try. You can preview it, give it a try, and you save it, and you have the file. And all this information will be stored in that .agent file, what I showed you in the slides before. So I'll cancel for now, because I want to show you one more place. So if we go into a document library, I have my contract documents. That's the other one that I created. And here, contract documents. Here we store all the contracts, as you can see, with our folder structure. And now I could create an agent as well for the whole library. If I click here, I get the link to the whole library. Or I can also select a specific folder or file, for example, this file, and then create an agent, or in the context menu, create an agent. And it will directly link to this file. Same is true if you select multiple files. So this is already an agent, but doesn't matter, it's also a file. No, okay, this one you can't. But if you select multiple files, you can also create an agent. All right. Now, what I've done to integrate those agents more seamless into the solution, because for now it's just here up in the right corner. But for example, if you would add that solution to use in Teams, so the solution itself, as you probably know, then the whole top bar is not visible. So on the top bar, this one is not visible in Teams. Therefore, you would not see the agent. So what you can do, there's a new web part that is available. So for example, on Pages. So if I hit Edit, these two here, those are the agents. And it's a new web part. Let me show you. Here. It's a new web part you can add in the section AI. There's one more for FAQs, which is still in preview, but it's this one, the agent link. Once you place this agent link, you can specify the layout and then which agent should be used and if it should show the title or not. That's how I did it for the first one. Here I have the title and I used the large one. The second one is medium and has no title because I already used the title for this got questions as a title. So these web parts can be placed on the page and then the users will see them. If they have questions about the contract documents, they click on the button here and the agent will open up in the right panel. So that's one place. Now I have another one, which is, which is on the list itself. As I mentioned in the things to know, on a list, you will not see the agent icon at all because lists are not supported. That's why the agent will not be visible, the agent icon. So what did I do? Here it's still open from the page. So what will I do? I was using a skybow list action, which are added to the command bar of a list. So up here, so for example, this home icon we've added. Also, if you use it in Teams, then it's good to go back to the home because you don't have that top navigation as well. This one is not there. I've added this group. Again, got questions, and then I added these two agents. Both of them are very simple. I just used the open a web page action and I specified the URL to the agent file. That's it. And from here, if I have a question about the contract documents, I click and the agent is opened in a panel. This time it's not the out-of-the-box panel. We are using our own panel and you will see it looks a little bit different because we are opening the file itself and SharePoint know how to handle these agents like a PDF and a Word file, etc. And you can use that here as well. So that's the second place where I used it in a solution using skybow list actions. So last but not least, how can I use it from within a form? So let's say I'm adding a new contract and on this form, let's quickly reload. All right, I have a button here to add a new contract. It's quite slow. All right, so skybow automation actions. I have this button. It will open up a full screen panel for the form where I can fill out the form. I can specify for whom, like for, I don't know, Finance Corp. And then I have to specify the type. Those are these 39 types I was talking about in the contractual framework. And now, maybe I don't know, I have some sensitive information, but I have no clue which type I should use. That's where I added this button, this help button. And it will also open up a panel, so very similar to the action buttons in the list view. It's opening the panel. This time it's the contractual framework. And I can ask questions here. So, for example, when I want to know which type I should take. For example, for which contract type should I choose if I want to protect confidential information? I can ask this one to the contractual framework. Now it's looking into that contractual framework file, and it will give me the answer of 2 different possibilities. So it can whether be a confidentiality agreement or a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. It will tell you the source file. I mean, this time it's clear because the source is only one file, but in the contract document, it would show you which contract files. All right, so I would say, let me take an NDA. So, but which topics should I cover in the NDA? So I click. It will add this text to my prompt. I simply replace here the NDA. What are the topics to be covered in the NDA? And it will give me the result, the topics. So we should have the parties, the definition of the confidential information, obligations, exclusions, etc. So that's what is written in the contractual framework. Now, I could, for example, copy them. Okay, right-click, copy. And then once I'm done, like I said, I can't process any further. I cannot directly select a contract type out of the chat. Hopefully that will somewhen be possible in the future. But for now, I have to do this manually. So I choose the NDA. I'm doing an NDA for Finance Corp. Give it a name. Add some date of signing information. Okay, it was signed yesterday. The start date is on October 1st. It has no end date and it's yearly. All the rest is automatically calculated using Skybow Modern Forms. All right. Once I'm done, I hit save. Now it will create the contract for me and it opens the display form automatically. So from here, let me show you some other stuff. Let's assume you want to create now a document. You go ahead, you say new document, a Word. It will open up Word. In Word, you also have Copilot possibilities. Here on the top. And what you can do, you could say, come on. So here in the prompt, I would say, create an NDA for Finance Corp along the top topics from the contractual framework attached using the following terms. So what I will do, I will pass in the terms that we have specified here. So simply copy paste them, all the terms, put it in here, paste. And for the contractual framework, I'm going to add the content. So I can search for the contractual framework, or I have it already here. So you can attach it to give Copilot this context. And then you hit OK. And it starts to generate a contract for you, having all that information in there. Pretty cool. Let's see what it's doing. All right, so it's writing the non-disclosure agreement. We have the date here. We do have the term with the cancellation possibilities. I was missing to add our own company. That's why it's only adding Finance Corp. The counterparty he didn't know. So we could also add this, of course. Now it's just saying counterparty. But as more as you specify, the more will be in the document. But that's my document. For now, I'll give it a name up here. NDA Finance Corp. Click somewhere else. Saved. We can now close it. If we go back, look into the documents, we will see it's already updated. It's here, and we have the contract file ready. It's already there to be used in the agent for the contract documents. So, all right, this is the file. Now let's see how we can bring this agent into Teams. So going back to the start page, let's say we want to use that contract agent in Teams. Simply open up the agent panel. Here. And then using the first choose the right agent. This one. And by the way, if you want to have this agent as a default, as an admin, I can do that. I can click on the three dots and I can say set this as a site default. So every time you open it, this one would be the default. And from here, you can also copy the link for Teams. Once you have it, you switch over to Teams in a certain place, like a chat or a channel. Then you just post this link, post it, and there will be a card where you can add the agent to the channel. Once it's loaded here. So we can add this to the channel. As soon as we did, now we can use the agent by asking something and mentioning the agent. And I'll show you. All right, so now the agent started in the chat, similar to the agent in SharePoint. You have the three default questions available here, and you can ask the agent, you can ask it here, you can ask it in new post, doesn't matter. The only thing you have to do is you have to mention it. So like this. So the only thing you have to do is you have to mention it like this. Add contract documents, and then your question. Which active contracts do we have for AD Corp? Or let's take Finance Corp. That's the new one we just created. So now the agent will look into the documents, but this time that's specific to teams. It automatically recognizes that the people who are having access to this team, not all of them do have access to the contract documents. So it will tell me that the information that he wants to return is probably not should not be visible to everyone. I'm waiting for Matthias to review my response, because some people in this chat don't have access. All right, I can review the answer from the bot, and I can check if there are some confidential information that should not be seen by the others. If not, because as you can see, it's this new NDA we just created. We do have the different start date, October 1st, date signing, and so on. It's all there. And if I say it's okay, then I can send it. Otherwise, I can say, no, don't send it. So I can say, no, don't, and then no one will see the answer. So that's pretty cool. So it really even recognizes the permissions when it's used from within Teams. All right. If you do not have access, if you don't have a Copilot license, then the agent will tell you you don't have access to it. You don't have a license. Okay. So one last thing regarding the history. In general, for Copilot, there's a history. It's the same for Copilot for SharePoint agents. If you want to clear up that history, you have to go to your profile, to your account. Then under settings and privacy, switch over to privacy, and there's this Copilot activity history. If you delete that history, then the history is gone for all Copilot activities everywhere. So just to make sure. But that's the place where you can delete your history. So like this, I say yes. I know it's included from all the tools, Word, PowerPoint, etc. Delete, and then next time you open up the Copilot, you will not see the history is empty. Okay, so now if we go to Skybow Solution Studio, what did we extend? We extended the possibility of package and publish those agents. So let's say you have those agents created and you have a test site, a dev site, a test site, and a production site. Then you can simply go on the miscellaneous. There's a new point called agents, and there you can you can select which agent to package. And we would package those agent files and make sure they come along. And that's the only thing you have to do. You can package agents in general. Those are the ones which are not approved, stored in any library, or the ones approved. And then you make a new package. This one, where I included the agents, it's the 0.5. And when I go to publish, we see I have one deployment. It's, I don't have enough space. So it's this one here. I created a prod site where I deployed it. Let's have a look. we see it's a different site, underline prod. It's also using the red theme just to make sure it's really a different one. We already see the red here. And also the buttons should be red. Everything is red. So this is a production site. It's a different site here. When we open up the agents, we will see that the agents are there as well. And that's the important part. These agents, the approved ones, they are pointing, we can check it here, and when we edit the agent, they are pointing to the file in the new site. So here we see it's pointing to a contractual framework file, which is located in the prod site. And that this will work, you have to make sure that this file will be packaged as well. So this file is located in the documents library. That's why in Solution Studio, I have to add the documents library here, or as well other libraries where you're pointing to. And then in the background of this library, we have to package the content. So that's important that this file comes along as well. Otherwise, the agent will not, the file will not be there. The agent cannot be mapped to this file in the new site. So that's important. As well, if you point to a list, a library, you have to add this library to Solution Studio. Otherwise, it's not mapped well. Yeah, that's what it is. Just use the agents in SharePoint. One last thing, maybe real quick, how I used the agent, or I opened the agent from the new form. It's the same for the list actions. I have this button, and down here I have this help button. When I open, you will see it's really just an open web page that is open in a panel, and the URL is pointing to the agent file here. The only thing I have made dynamic is the web URL, so that it will also work in the production site. And yeah, this way you can open these agents and package and publish it. Okay, I hope I was able to show you how to enhance your solutions with AI and chatbots, and how you can package and publish it with Solution Studio. If you like that content, give us a thumb up and hit subscribe below. Thanks. Bye.